The movie begins with a man called Vic heading back to his house by his bicycle. He arrives home only to find his beautiful wife Melinda waiting for him on the staircase. Trixie, a daughter of Vic and Melinda, asks Alexa to play her a song. Moments later, a babysitter named Chelsea arrives home to look after little Trixie. Melinda asks Vic which dress suits her well and makes her look more beautiful. Vic replies, the black one will be the best option. Later, they leave for the party. Shortly, Melinda and Vic arrive at the party. Melinda spots her old friend Joel at the party and immediately goes to meet him, putting Vic aside. Melinda takes Joel out of the room while Vic secretly chases them. Melinda and Joel have fun in the pool area, enjoying the music. There she kisses Joel despite being mother to a little daughter. Vic sees this from upstairs and Melinda sees him too. Mary Washington, one of Vic's neighbors, indirectly suggests to him that Melinda is having an affair with Joel. However, Vic brushes it off. The drunk Melinda plays the piano and Vic stands nearby.
It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's
Later, he meets Joel in private. Vic asks him if he has ever heard of Martin McRae. Joel replies in the affirmative. Vic then tells him that he killed Martin because he was having an affair with his wife, Melinda. Vic indirectly threatens Joel to stay away from his wife, warning that otherwise he will suffer the same fate. Later, Joel tries to escape from the party. Melinda sees him and rushes to stop him. Meanwhile, Vic sees Joel from a distance. Without delay, Joel leaves the party. After the party, the drunken Melinda asks Vic what he said to Joel that unsettled him. Vic replies that he said nothing to Joel. The following day, Joel arrives at Melinda's home, having been invited by Vic for dinner. Vic asks his little daughter to bring Joel a glass of water. Joel then tells Vic that he has got a job in New Mexico and will be leaving tomorrow. Later in the evening, Vic sees Melinda romancing Joel in her room, which spoils his mood. Distressed, Vic goes into the kitchen to do the dishes. Melinda comes in to get a drink for Joel and urges Vic to hand a glass of liquor to him. Vic takes the glass and delivers it to Joel in his room. There, Vic shocks Joel by telling him that he killed Martin McRae with a hammer, leaving Joel frozen in fear. The following day, Vic and Melinda meet their neighbors, Don Wilson and his wife Kelly. Don mentions that he is a screenplay writer and has sold many scripts to Hollywood. Later, everyone starts enjoying the party. Vic asks Kelly if she would like to dance with him, and she agrees, while Melinda watches them from a distance, standing with her friends. On their way home, Melinda comments that he seemed to have fun dancing with Kelly. Vic confirms this, after which Melinda begins comforting him in the car. When they arrive home, the two make love in bed. Melinda and Vic arrive at Trixie's school to watch her soccer game. At that moment, Vic receives a phone call from Melinda's bank, so he moves away from her to hear the banker clearly. Rick, the banker, informs him that there were insufficient funds to cover a check that Melinda issued last Thursday. Vic asks who the check was drawn to, and the banker reveals it was for Mr. Charlie DeLille, in whose account $3,000 was to be credited for piano lessons. Vic contacts the Oak Tree Lounge, which offers live music in the evenings, and goes there that night. A pianist named Charlie DeLille is performing for the guests. Moments later, Melinda arrives, unaware of Vic's presence. She takes off her coat and sits before Charlie under the pretense of learning piano, though Vic knows her true intentions. Upset, Vic returns home in a foul mood. That night, Vic watches a news report on TV stating that the police have found the body of Martin McRae, who went missing from his apartment last spring. His body has been recovered from the woods in La Bouche Parish. Soon after, Melinda returns home drunk, and Vic questions her about where she has been. She replies that she was out having dinner with a new friend. Vic then tells her about Martin's dead body being found, and Melinda breaks down since Martin was her lover. The next day, at a veterinary clinic, Vic adopts a dog for his daughter Trixie and names it Roger. On their way home, Vic spots Charlie heading to his lounge with a bouquet of flowers in hand. Later at home, he notices the same flowers arranged in a vase on the dining table, which reveals that Charlie gifted them to Melinda. Annoyed, Vic grabs the vase and throws it into the trash. That evening, Vic goes to the Oak Tree Lounge and meets his friend Grant. Everyone applauds Charlie's performance, and as Charlie walks past, Vic stops him to compliment his playing. Meanwhile, Melinda continues her affair with Charlie under the guise of taking piano lessons, proving herself insatiable. Back at home, Vic waits throughout the night for Melinda to return. In the morning, she comes home drunk again, only to find Vic sitting silently, waiting for her. She heads into the kitchen to make herself some coffee. Vic questions Melinda about why she didn't return home last night, but she shamelessly avoids answering and casually removes her sandals while sitting on the steps. She starts speaking rudely, which irritates Vic. When he asks her to stop seeing Charlie, Melinda gets angry. Their argument heats up, and Melinda even tries to seduce him on the stairs, but Vic pushes her away. The next day, Vic hosts a party at his house. To his shock, Charlie also attends. Melinda is overjoyed to see her new lover and introduces him to the guests as her piano teacher. Vic, however, knows the truth. She even takes Charlie to Vic and introduces them, where Charlie asks if they've met before. Vic calmly replies, "I don't think so." Later in the evening, Vic notices Melinda missing and searches for her around the house. Just then, he spots her stepping out of Charlie's room, confirming his worst fears. Though shattered inside, he holds back his emotions. Broken-hearted, Vic quietly walks to the poolside and sits alone, while Melinda and Charlie enjoy themselves with the others. Soon, it starts raining. Everyone rushes out of the pool except for Charlie, who stays behind, busy drinking. After a short while, Vic also gets out of the pool. Later, he joins the guests, while outside in the pool, Charlie's body floats lifelessly. We all know who did this. The uneasy Melinda searches for Charlie, but cannot find him anywhere. She pushes open the door and screams in terror when she sees his body floating in the pool. Mr. Don Wilson, Vic, and the others desperately dive in and pull Charlie out of the water. Vic half-heartedly performs CPR on Charlie's lifeless body, but Melinda quickly realizes he is not even trying. She flips out on him, accusing him of not caring, and breaks down in tears after losing yet another lover. Moments later, the police arrive to investigate. Enraged, Melinda tells an officer that Vic killed Charlie.
Vic killed him.
What?
Vic dismisses her, saying his wife is just upset. However, Chief Nichols calls him into a private room for further questioning. He asks Vic if Melinda had slept with Charlie. Vic replies that he does not know. Then, Nichols bluntly asks if he killed Charlie, to which Vic clearly denies responsibility. After everyone leaves, Vic approaches Melinda and asks if she would be afraid of him if she knew he killed Charlie. Melinda answers no, explaining that she knows he did it for her. While heading for his office, Vic then recalls the moment he drowned Charlie in the pool, holding him down coldly while he gasped for air. Later, while walking by the roadside, Vic spots Melinda at a restaurant with a new man. He steps inside, surprising her. Melinda introduces him to David, a psychotherapist. Vic requests David's business card, saying he needs therapy, but David admits he doesn't have one at the moment. Vic calmly says he knows where to find him and leaves. The next day, Vic sees Melinda cuddling another man outside their house. She leaves with him, unaware that Vic has witnessed it. Back home, Trixie tells her father she knows who killed Charlie, signaling that she is aware he drowned him. Smiling, Vic tells her to keep it a secret. Later, he overhears Melinda speaking to her new boyfriend. The following day, Tony Cameron, one of Melinda's old friends, visits their home and enters Vic's makeshift cabin to ask about her. Vic directs him upstairs. Melinda is overjoyed to see Tony, and later shamelessly tells Vic that Tony was the first American she ever slept with, which makes Tony chuckle while Vic feels crushed inside. Vic reluctantly joins them for lunch. Afterward, Melinda and Tony head upstairs as Vic watches them from below. When he follows, he finds Melinda having fun with Tony. The next day, while Tony is on his way, Vic approaches him in his car and tells him that Melinda wants to see him at a building site. Tony, puzzled since Melinda never mentioned it, eventually agrees and gets into the car. Vic drives him into the woods, where there is no building in sight. When Tony steps out and asks where Melinda is, Vic picks up a stone and hurls it at him, injuring him. He then lifts a larger stone and strikes again, causing Tony to fall into a nearby gorge to his death. Calmly, Vic climbs down into the gorge to dispose of Tony's body. He first drags Tony's body into the stream, places a heavy stone on his chest to submerge it, and then ties it with his own belt around his back. However, Vic keeps Tony's wallet with him. Afterward, he pushes Tony into the stream, hammering the last nail into the coffin. He returns home only to find Melinda and Trixie playing together on the couch. Shortly after, Melinda tries to contact Tony, but receives no response. Later, she makes a plan to go on a picnic with her family at the gorge. Once they arrive, Trixie begins to play around while Melinda starts seducing Vic. He then shows her an album he prepared of her photographs, which brings a smile to her face. Meanwhile, they hear Trixie, and Vic immediately rushes to check on her, only to see Tony's body still submerged in the water. They return home from the gorge together. Melinda tells Vic she accidentally left her scarf near the gorge, and Vic says he will fetch it the next day. The following day, Vic rides his bicycle to the gorge in haste. Meanwhile, Melinda goes into Vic's makeshift science lab, where he has kept many snails alive. Finding it unsettling, she accidentally crushes one under her foot. There, she stumbles upon Tony's wallet in a container and instantly realizes that Vic killed him. At the gorge, Vic searches for Melinda's scarf, but instead goes into the stream and tries to push Tony's body deeper under the water. At that moment, Don spots him and asks what he is doing down there. Vic claims he is just searching for Melinda's scarf. Don then shows him the scarf, saying he already found it, and asks why Vic is carrying a stick. To make matters worse, Tony's body suddenly floats back to the surface, leaving Don frozen in fear. Don hurriedly runs back to his car with Vic chasing him. By sheer luck, Don manages to drive away before Vic catches up. However, Vic chases him on his bicycle. Panicked, Don tries to contact Kelly, but his car swerves off the road and crashes into the gorge after Vic suddenly blocks his way. Don dies instantly. Vic rides back home only to find Melinda waiting for him on the staircase with a calm smile. When Vic asks her what happened, she replies, "Nothing," and walks upstairs realizing that Vic will kill every man who dares to come near her.